What's up, people? I am back for another video. We're continuing on with the prom night series. Apparently, I knew there was a second one, but I looked up. Apparently, there's a 3 and a 4. So I guess I will be doing those. So, I'll be doing prom night 3. Hold on, let me just fix this fan. I'll be doing that one on next Tuesday. So, Prom Night 2. I watched this one. I didn't know this one existed because for me, I assumed it was just the original film, and then there was the 2008 remake. But no, there was a second one, and then I found out there's a 3 and a 4. But the second one, this one was weird because I looked into it. Apparently, it was originally its own film, but it's basically a possession film. But it happened to take. I think it's the same school. It's a loose sequel. Let's be honest here, it's a very loose sequel. But basically, the premise is Mary Lou Maloney. She wants to become basically prom princess, and and basically a freak accident because a boy she ends up they decide to the boys basically do a stink bomb prank. It goes wrong, she gets set on fire. Jump ahead, yeah, and basically she possesses a girl named I didn't really pay attention to the characters because this one is very much, it's not like the first one, where the first one isn't, I would still somewhat has those old slasher elements, but it still tries to tell a story. This one is, like I mentioned, it basically, you could take Prom Night out of the title, but it's still a fun 80s slasher that is basically a supernatural horror. This girl Vicky looks for prom dress, ends up finding a dress that basically is possessed. That's old, basically Mary's old dress, and it possesses her, and she starts seeing hallucinations, and then eventually Mary possesses her, and she starts killing. It's a little bit slow, and if you try to look at it as a direct sequel, it's a terrible one. But if you just look at it as an 80s slasher, it's fine. I had fun with it. It is cheap, very cheap, and I'm assuming it's going to get cheaper from here. But if you can just keep my attention for an hour and a half, and I felt like this one did for the most part, I can give you a pass. It's not the greatest film. I don't necessarily look at this one as canon to me. The main prom night story is a one-off story, but I can look at these as just fun 80s slashers. And at the end of the day, if I can have fun with that, and like I said, that's all I need. So tomorrow I will be doing Orphan First Kill. I'll probably be watching that either tonight, or I'm actually going to have to watch it tonight, because tomorrow I'm going to be going to a friend's, so I'm going to have to probably do that video early in the day, either in the morning or it has to be during the day, because I don't think I'm going to get back till late. So yeah, but I actually enjoyed it. That's if I had to say sleeper or breakout hit of the year that I didn't expect, that one. I didn't expect it to be good. I think, though, the only thing, it has a marketing problem. It should have just been a sequel, because that's pretty much what it is. It's a sequel. It plays like one. It doesn't feel like this is a prequel to that first Orphan movie at all. But it's a solid. If you look at it as just a straight up sequel, it works. And I'm happy they actually got the original actress back, and I think she still works. She does look a little bit aged, but it works. And it's a decent horror. So, granted, there's been a lot of shit this year. I think that's partially why, but I really did expect this, because when I heard this announced, I'm like, this is probably going to be bad. and it's going straight to streaming, then like, you know what? I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. So I'll be reviewing that one tomorrow. And then Friday, I will be doing kind of an unknown slasher. This one I'm kind of going in blind. It's called Slaughter High. It came out in the 80s. This was like that period, after Halloween and Friday 13th. Just a bunch of slashers came out. So I'll be doing that one. So aside from that, we'll be kicking off Prom Night 2. Or basically, I think the original title is like Hamilton High School or something. But other than that, I'll cheers and here you go. So it opens up. We see Mary go to the priest. All you hear about her sins basically no. Sleeping around. And then she glorified it. Then she goes to the prom, basically hooks up with one guy. She ends up going with Billy initially, but then she sends him up and hooks up with another boy. Billy finds her hooking up with that boy. She then basically publicly embarrasses him, throws a drink out on him and stuff on shit. So, and it's Michael Ironside who plays, he's Billy but older. I actually thought he was decent. Granted, I do think he should have been the main character, the main focus instead of probably the son. And I get why, because he's the guy who's dating Vicky, who's the main character. But I do think he should have been the main character, personally. I think because he had the whole personal tie with Mary. But anyway. So he joins in on a group of boys deciding to plant a stink bomb. Billy then... the boys abandon it, though, because they see a teacher. So Billy grabs it. And when Mary is about to be named prom queen, he drops it on her, and I think he intended it for to just go off, but it was still going setting off, and it ends up getting caught on fire on a dress, and she burns. So it has a Carrie-ish kind of feel, because there is some telepathy, and there are still straight slasher elements though. I do like the creativity. Granted, they should have just stuck with its own, because it isn't really a prom night too, but whatever. So Mary then burns, and then we kind of jump ahead 30 years. We meet Vicky, who one day she wants to go to prom, but her mom, sorry about that, wants to go to prom, and get a dress, but her mom is she has, it's the trope, at the time, it doesn't, in the 80s, it probably wasn't a thing. It's just now, when I see, overly religious parents and stuff, now I'm just it is a little bit overly done. But I do like, it works for the movie. So, she finds a trunk where she finds Mary's old dress, and then basically weird shit happens. And I'm just going to kind of jump ahead, and Mary kind of manifests, well, it's weird, because it has, these supernatural elements to it, which maybe, and I get it, because this is a repurposed script, ultimately. This was about, it was originally just called Hamilton High, that it was just this possessed girl possesses a girl, girl who got wronged, possesses a girl and starts killing people. But they repurposed it. It's not a real, it has really nothing to do with the original Prom Night. She then sees her friend Jess like really sad, kind of comforts her for a bit, and then Jess is working one night, and then an unseen force like attacks, which basically it's Mary, as a ghost, kills her, um, basically making it look like a suicide, and after that, she then possesses Vicky starts having hallucinations, basically starts seeing shit Mary sees. She goes to the priest and tells the priest what's happening, and the priest now is realizing that it's Mary, because he even mentions that when a person dies like super violently like that their spirit never leaves and wants to get vengeance. So at least they try to somewhat explain it, but Principal Cunningham, who's Billy, and doesn't he doesn't believe it initially. Like you gotta do that. So then Vicky then basically takes over the body of Vicky. Now basically starts behaving differently, like that kind of trope. She even kills before that, Vicky gets sent to detention, and that's when Vicky takes over. Mary takes over. So Mary takes over, kills the priest with a crucifix. Kills aren't bad. Like, it kind of picks up from here. It is a little slow, like, in the sense, like, there's a middle, like, where kind of not a lot happens. You're just kind of seeing Vicky's high school life for a bit, which that's, it's fine. She then, she starts changing her style to suit more Mary's style. She then kills Monica by crushing her in a locker. The blood did not look good, though. It didn't look like blood. It just looked like, I don't know what. It looked like some just red putty. And it was because, like, when it crushed, like, you just see, like, a thing of that's basically supposed to be blood come out, and, like, it didn't look good. Like, the practical effects, I'll admit, didn't really look great. Like in the first one, they don't look great either, but it still looked decent, So after that, Vicky hooks up with Craig, who basically throughout the film is her boyfriend. Characters are very, minus, like, Billy, and that's mainly because it's Michael Ironside. He's actually a really good actor, and he's the voice of Darkseid in the cartoon. I feel like he was the only real good character in this, but at the end of the day, the characters in this were, like, I guess serviceable is a good word. When Vicky gets possessed by Mary, I thought she got a little bit more charisma, because I didn't really care for her when she's just Vicky, really. She was just kind of there. But, so, she hooks up with Craig, but then basically knocking him out unconscious, confronts Billy, basically making Billy realize, oh shit, it's Mary. And I thought Mary was a solid killer in the sense of being charismatic, and it is also kind of awesome to see, like, a female killer, something different, So after that, she goes to the prom. So I'm just gonna jump ahead because the movie kind of goes quick, pretty much. Like after she goes to the prom. She then because during the film, her rival, like prom rival, basically is bribing like one of the photo guys to be prom queen, and Josh, who's the guy who's working on it, is about to change the winner to the other girl. Vicky manages to, because she has powers, like I guess it's like telepathy-ish powers, and manages to kill Josh via computer, which was kind of creative. Like, I mean, I like it for what it is. When I'm looking on the Wikipedia page here, it apparently is somewhat, there's like Nightmare on Elm Street elements in there, and the hanging for sure. But yeah, so after doing that, it does almost like little bit mirror the ending of the first one, because Vicky kind of now just does a public, becomes the prom queen, and then Billy shoots her like in, via like in the original, where the original killer gets killed, but this time Mary manifests and starts doing a mass killing, which I thought that seems pretty good. She killed a couple people and then becomes Mary like in her regular form, and then seemingly you think for a second like that part, yeah, the more I'm like really thinking of, I do see it, like that part is very much the scene from Nightmare 2 where Freddy comes out of Jesse's body. It's pretty much that scene. Like when he shoots Vicky then it rejects it, and then Mary comes out of her body, like pretty much the same way. So, I mean, I don't blame them. I just think they could have tried to make it a little different, because it was just like, okay, you just straight up took that shot. But then again, I like the Friday the 13th movies, and one of the things that when the first one was made, we want to just rip off Halloween. So like, that's fine. So after that, she kidnaps Billy's son. Basically, is about to like send him away before Billy realizes what he has to do, and he basically gives her a prom, because all she really wants to do is just become prom queen. So because the moment was basically ruined for her, so he gives her the tiara, and then kisses her, and then like you get a little bit of like a loop back to she had won back in 1957, and then everything is fixed. Vicky's back. Movie kind of just ends. The three leave in a car. Yeah, this is not a bad movie. You just gotta not look at it as a prom night sequel, and that's kind of how I'm looking at it. It's like it's very much, it just has the name, but it's pretty much its own movie. Like, it's a supernatural possession movie that's heavily inspired by Nightmare on Elm Street. So, but for what it is, I had fun with it. I thought Mary was an interesting killer, and I like possession stuff, so if I were to give it out of 10, like a 6, I had fun with it. It knows what it is. The only weak thing is there's no score, and for me, a slasher film should always have a good score. Or at least somewhat. There has to be a score there. When there's just nothing there, it just doesn't work for me. But besides that, I think this film's okay. I would recommend it. Just don't watch it as a prom night sequel. Just watch it as look, the original title for this one is Hamilton High. Just watch it as that. Its own movie. Because if you watch it as a prom night sequel, it's pretty bad. Because that's nothing to do with the original. Because the original prom night was not supernatural. There's no supernatural element. It was like just an actual killer. But anyway, I'm going to end it here. Tomorrow, I will be doing Prom Night 2. I will be doing that superhero video for sure pretty soon. I'll try to do that maybe Thursday or something like that. But Orphan First Kill is pretty good. I was really shocked how good it was, and you just got to look at it as a sequel. They fucked up by marketing as a prequel. I don't know why they did that. Because even when I first heard about this, because I was even thinking, oh, it's a sequel. And then, oh shit, it's a prequel? But she looks older than she did even in the first one. Where, yeah, she was an adult in the first one, but she looks much older than she did in that one. So you just got to go in looking at it as a sequel, and she takes over another family. And there's some twists, and I'll talk more about the twists tomorrow, but twists aren't bad. It's not. It is a little predictable, but it's a decent slasher and modern horror compared to a lot of shit just in general we're getting this year for movies. It's not bad. So I'll talk about that more tomorrow. But other than that, I'm gonna cheers out. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. But fuck the Biden administration. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.